Morning, guys. William here with Patriot Containers. I wanted to kind of go through how easy it is to place an order with Patriot Containers and why I do this right. If you're new to my channel, I used to work for horrible container companies 13 years ago, and they paid me well. I was a really good salesperson. I made 5 sales out of 10 calls. That's a pretty good closing ratio. As time went on, I realized that these companies I was working for were not doing with what I was telling the customers, what I was told to tell the customers. I'm not a liar, I'm not a thief, and I'm a very good human being that treats people the way, how do I say this? I can be an asshole, but I'm not an asshole to nice people. I'm usually a total asshole to somebody that's not being fair, not being trustworthy, but I am nice to nice people that actually want help. So I started Patriot Containers 11 years ago, and the real reason I did this, there's 2 main reasons. I don't want to say money wasn't a factor. It was. I wanted to make more money. But I know what the cargo container industry is. And if these are all the bad companies over here, I didn't want to join them. I wanted to be over here and do something unique. What Patriot Containers does is tell the truth about what you're selling. Tell the truth about what's going to arrive. Have it delivered on the right day. And do everything right for the customers. And it's literally that simple. That's what I do. And I've been very, very successful for many years doing this the right way. That being said, let me kind of go through like how really easy it is. So I take calls every single day from people that find me on YouTube, find me from the internet, find me from Facebook Marketplace. I do get a lot of repeat business, and I do get a lot of referrals from past people that I've sold to. Repeat business and referrals are earned. You can't buy that. You can't demand that. That comes from doing a good job, and people can trust you. That's what I do. So when somebody calls me, I don't go in for the kill. I don't go in for the close, and I apply 0 pressure. I want to help every single person that calls me. I can't help everybody that calls me, though. There's some people that just don't want help, and I do feel sorry for them because they're going to buy a 5,000 or 8,000 pound container from whoever gives them the cheapest price. And there is a lot of companies, I believe it's 90% of cargo container companies that have no morals and standards. They will do whatever it takes to make that sale, to screw over that customer, and then not be accountable for anything that the company did wrong. And in a way, it's kind of the customer's fault because that's what they wanted, and they didn't want to hear the truth. Can't save everybody. But the customers that do watch my videos and they know that I'm a genuine, honest person that wants to help them, and how do I say this? I feel like I sell to smart people, and I don't sell to dumb people. And I don't prey on dumb people either. People either want help or they don't. But the people that do want help, that's what I provide. So new containers, I love selling them. I really do. You just can't, it can't be easier. If somebody wants a new container, do whatever it takes to make the order because they're getting a brand new container. It's called a one-tripper. But people that do have standards, it's kind of like this is, I think people complain about picky customers. Well, I want picky customers. I want to know what color you want. I want to know that you care about your container. I want to know that you do not want a crappy container, because that's what I don't sell. I don't sell bottom of the line garbage like 90% of cargo container companies do. So once me and the customer can establish that we're both on the same page of what you're buying, I have an order sheet. I'm old fashioned. I don't. I it's funny. The past jobs I worked at, we all had paper trails, and once they took away the paper trail and put it into a computer, I noticed that all the work that used to be in front of my face was gone. Well, work needs to be in front of your face so it can be done, or you have to go find it. Well, something that needs to be done, it can't be hiding. It needs to be out. So I'm a paper guy. I'm very old fashioned. So once we figure out the container that you want, like first things first, I always ask somebody, hey, what's your zip code? And then I got to find out the mileage from the depot to the customer's property. Every driver's different. Some drivers charge more. Some drivers charge by the mile. Some drivers charge by city. So within less than 60 seconds, I already know with what your delivery is going to be, whether it's 120, whether it's 220s on one truck, or it's 140. So I already have my calculator going while I'm talking or you're talking. My calculator is already running. And then obviously we need to figure out with what size you want. And if you're the right customer for Patriot Containers, I sell cargo-worthy, real cargo-worthy containers. I sell IICL, and I sell new one-trippers. I hate the term wind and watertight. I think it's a horrible container. That is the most abused term in the cargo container industry. And I think if you want to buy a shitty rust bucket piece of junk with or without holes, the companies selling that are going to say wind and watertight. I don't use the term wind and watertight. Cargo worthy IICL and new one trippers, they can't leak. They can't. They're better containers. But the reason I sell better containers is because I don't like to sell eyesores. Eyesores create problems. These other companies sell eyesores. So once we figured out that you want cargo-worthy IICL or new one trip, obviously it has I have a cost, I have a profit, I am fairly negotiable on how much my service is. If you buy a lot of containers, my profit goes down on each container. If you buy one, it depends. It's all depending on what my cost is, but I'm not overpriced. I know that for a fact. Reading some of these complaints on these companies where I'm starting to think that I'm underpriced sometimes. Maybe I should start quoting people that want junk better containers, and I might be cheaper. I have heard many times where these companies are selling you guys junk for extremely high prices. I don't purchase junk. I purchase good containers that don't cause problems. That's why Patriot Containers doesn't have any complaints from an actual real buyer in 11 years. I have 4 complaints. 3 people I talked to on the phone, they never bought a container from me if you clearly read it. The one I recently got like 2 or 3 weeks ago, some random person, my only assumption is he's affiliated with one of these crappy companies that doesn't like being exposed, and he left me a horrible review on Facebook. And it's like basically he wrote everything that what these bad companies are guilty of and makes it look like I run my business like that. Well, if you watch my videos, I don't run my business like that at all. So when I can tell that a customer is serious and ready to order, which I don't ask. Sometimes I ask, hey, I'm not a pushy salesperson. Do you want to place this order? Or do you want to call me back? And I kind of, the salesperson in me isn't there anymore. I just want to provide a real service and help people. That's it. And if my help is needed, I'm there. If it's not needed, I'm not there. Some customers I can tell that aren't ready to place an order, but they go, well, how soon can I get it? Well, every bad company out there will say, well, we have next day delivery. Well, most likely you're not going to get your container next day, and that's a lie. most companies or salespeople that don't have direct access to the specific drivers that are hired, that are picking up and delivering, their job is just to sell. They say 7 to 10 days. I don't always know with what uh, date my driver has on the schedule, and I might have 3 drivers in one location that I can call. Maybe one is expensive and they can deliver right away. Maybe one is cheaper and they have maybe they're 7 days out. So when somebody asks me, hey, when can I get this? I have 2 phones on my desk. I call my driver right then and there and go, hey, look, I got somebody that's potential and they want to know with what day their container is going to arrive. Um, and you'll hear my driver speaking because I always talk to people on speaker. I never have my cell phone next to my head. I gotta work. I can't do this. I gotta act. I also have OCD, so I'm very organized and very thorough. And I don't want to toot my horn here too much, but um, I rarely make mistakes. But when I do make a mistake, I am so angry at myself and mad because I made a stupid mistake. And I'll tell you a short story. Actually, this happened, I don't know, like 2 or 3 months ago, where I have a filing system. Processing payment needs to be scheduled, and then once it's scheduled and delivered, it goes somewhere else into a filing cabinet. But I had a guy scheduled, and I haven't got to this part of your order process yet, but I had a guy scheduled, and I called my driver the day before to say, hey, what time is he getting this container? And he goes, I don't have the order. I'm like, what? And I looked at it, and I thought I sent the wire and I printed it. It just didn't say it was finalized. And I was really, really angry with myself. It was stupid mistake. But it's rare. It's rare that I make mistakes like that. I'm very, very thorough with everything that I do. So let's say we're on the phone with a driver, and he goes, hey, I can deliver this on this date. The customer is either going to buy or they're not. If they're not going to buy, I don't put it on the schedule with my driver. I just don't. Because I don't know if that person's serious about buying. Maybe they're shopping. Maybe they don't like me as a person and they're going to buy from a liar. I don't know. But I can't fill my driver's schedules with people that aren't buying. And then, because my driver has a schedule, he has to make a living. He can't have his schedule filled with fake orders. But if a customer is buying and I can tell that I am going to make a sale, I will put it on the schedule. If the customer doesn't buy the container, I have to call my driver and take it off the schedule out of respect to the driver. If the customer's order is final, while we're all on the phone on speaker, I tell them, hey, put me on the schedule. This order's done. And what the main reasons why somebody wouldn't get a container on delivery, it's always Mother Nature, especially in the winter, where it's pouring down rain. Most people want cargo containers in the dirt. And so if it's pouring down rain and there's mud or it's slick, we're going to have some delivery problems. Most of the time when I don't deliver on the right day that you were told, it's not because of me. It's because the customer has called me and go, hey, it's raining like crazy here. I think your driver is going to have some delivery problems. Okay, well, the smart thing to do is look at the weather report and then move it to when it looks clear and you think it's going to be dried up and fine. As long as everybody's transparent and understands, there's no problems because the communication's there. No communication is very bad. And I communicate very well. My customers are not left in the dark calling me all the time, wondering or confused, because I have the whole process taken care of and it's easy. So once the container is established, ordered, put on the schedule, everything's done. It's literally just done. That's how easy it is. These other companies, I don't know why they can't figure out how to actually do a proper business. I think that they have too many employees and just too many salespeople. And a lot of these companies, because I've worked for horrible companies before, a lot of these companies deal with a lot of problems constantly. Constantly. Problems slow down. If you're dealing with negativity all the time, you're going to have reoccurring negativity all the time, and you're always dealing with problems, always dealing with emails, complaints. If you do it right, it's pretty easy. That's the thing that it's what I do is very, very easy, and it's a very easy process. I don't know why these companies make it so hard for themselves. I just don't think they care, to be honest. So let's say you're going to be delivered on a Wednesday. I have a very organized filing system that says, okay, tomorrow I have all these deliveries. By the end of my day, which is usually like 3 or 4 o'clock, where I'm slowing down, I call every single one of those drivers and I go, hey, look, you're going to this location tomorrow. What time do you plan on being there? I've asked many drivers if other companies ask this, and they say, no, you're the only one. I do it because I don't want a customer waking up at 6 in the morning, staring out a window all day long, wondering with what time their container is going to get there, and then calling me 3 times a day. So if I tell a customer, hey, they'll be there 10 to noon, the customer has accurate information, so they can go do something at 8 or 9 in the morning. They can plan on doing something after noon. Now, if the driver was stuck at the depot for 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, he's probably going to be late, but he will be there. So when a customer thinks it's 10 to noon, and the container's not there by 12:05, they will call me, and I can call the driver and go, hey, look, are you loaded yet? Or it was, yeah, I'm on my way. I was just stuck at the depot for 4 hours. Well, what's your GPS say? And he'll say, oh, it says I'll be there at 4:15, and then just tell the customer, hey, be there at 4:15. He was stuck at the depot. Shit like that happens on occasion, but yeah, that's what I do. It's so simple. It's sell good products, communicate well, tell the truth. I don't know why people just don't tell the truth about this stuff. There are companies out there that are so fueled by greed that they can't provide a good service. Don't get me wrong. I started my business because I wanted to make profit instead of commission, but I really started my business because I wanted to do something different in this industry that is garbage. This industry is horrible. I hate saying that, but it's the truth. That's the whole point of my videos now. It's these companies are not doing with what's right for you guys, and it's kind of like criminal sales where they're allowed to tell you with whatever you need to hear over the phone to make that sale and close you. But then on their terms and conditions on their website, they don't have to do anything that they said. It's just all bullshit, and it's just wrong, and I stand against it. That's the thing I try to tell people is like, I hate begging for business. I don't want to become a salesperson to take your order. You either believe me or you don't. That's the way. That's really what it boils down to. But yeah, Patriot Containers offers a real service in this industry that is dependable, accountable, honest, and everything from the beginning to the middle to the end to after your order or after the delivery, it's all done correctly. You guys as customers don't understand how crucial it is to have everything done correctly. You can have a good salesperson, but then the company does everything wrong. You can have somebody tell you the truth, but they take 3 months to deliver and you get 10 different lies. You can have an honest salesperson, but the company purchases you a crappy container and it's delivered on the right day, and then when it gets there, it has holes, and then you have choices whether it's keep the container or lose a ton of money. All the things that can go wrong is I put myself in all these customer shoes. I read a lot of complaints on companies out there, and I just would feel really, really bad if that happened to me. I like nice things. I drive nice cars. Um, I just don't buy junk. I don't. Um, I think if you buy junk, you have to put work into it. I think if you buy junk, you have to replace it, and then you're wasting more money in the long run. You don't have to buy a new container, but you should buy a good container that does not have problems, that doesn't look horrible. And it should be delivered on the right day, and the communication should be there, and you should not lie about anything to customers. I always kind of look at it differently in a way, is that these bad companies make sales. Well, Patriot Containers makes customers. It's a true statement. I tell the truth, I deliver on the right day, and I show up with a good used container or a good new container. I've done everything right, and there's usually nothing to complain about. If you ever want another container, you're going to call me. Here's another example. If I delivered crappy containers, do you think somebody's going to come to your property and go, "Oh, where'd you buy that piece of crap? I want to call them." No. They're not going to ask about that. They're going to go, "Oh God, where'd you buy that? Like, that's disgusting. I don't want to call them." If I took 1 to 3 months to deliver a container, you're not going to call me back. But if you have a new container or a really nice used container on your property, somebody might go, "Hey man, where'd you get that thing?" And they're going to go, "Hey, William at Patriot Containers was a good, honest guy that told me the truth and did everything right. And they showed up with the product." And, I've had customers that leave me a review or a YouTube video. I was watching this. I forget with what video that is on my YouTube channel, but it's a customer that says, "You know what? I called William and he told me everything and did everything correctly. You just don't find that anymore in companies." And to be honest, like I get a lot of videos where customers don't say anything. And I'm still happy about the containers. I'm sorry, the video. It's nice when people say nice things, but I still like videos of containers, and I like putting them on my YouTube channel. Some people do it, some people don't. But man, I kind of got choked up a little bit, because he was basically saying, you in this world that we live in, you don't find good companies that actually do what they say they're going to do anymore. And I've known that. I've known that for years. In the biggest trillion-dollar corporations, they're always screwing people over. It's just bad. Kind of wish we lived in a old-time age where you could shake somebody's hand and they can depend on you. Well, we live in a world where that doesn't exist anymore. Everything's a business. Everything's a sale. Everything in front of us is commercial, 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 commercial. And everybody is just trying to rip people off nowadays. It's disgusting. It's getting worse with this AI stuff. I watch my YouTube videos a lot, and I'm my biggest critic of I don't know, just trying to get better at this. I don't want to become a YouTuber, but I do want to look authentic and be a trustworthy person, and I want my videos to have effect and hopefully change an industry for the better. But if I can't change an industry for a better, I would like to expose with what these bad companies are doing to you guys to help you. And I don't have to make a sale to help you. I can give you the warning signs, and I'll give you the warning signs right now. We're nationwide. We're the most reviewed. Go to our Google, go to our BBB, but don't go to our Yelp. And we have lifetime warranties and full money back refunds after 30, 60, 90 days. Read their complaints, people. Read their terms and conditions. Go to their Yelp. Yelp takes down their fake paid for 5-star reviews. The only reason they have a high star rating on BBB and Google is because they must purchase a certain amount of fake 5-star reviews to counter that 1-star review, which and again, I've said this in many of my videos. Some of these companies have so many complaints in such a short amount of time that their rating should be like a 1.8, 2.2, because that's what it is on Yelp. Because Yelp takes down their fake paid for reviews. I wish Google and BBB did. If they did that on Google and BBB, these people would not be in business. They wouldn't. It's kind of scummy. Like, it's just disgusting. Like, I've been in business for 11 years, and I think I have 108 reviews on Google. I didn't start my Google, I don't know, I think I started my Google business account 7 years ago. So I've sold a lot of containers over the years, and I send every customer the link to give me a review, and I only have 108 in 11 years, or however long I've been on Google. I don't know. I don't remember the specific year. I think my wife did that, and when she did it, I was pissed because she didn't tell me. But in a way, I should have did that from the very beginning. Maybe I'd have 200 reviews. But yeah, these companies that have like 1 point or 1,200 reviews, or they have 850 reviews. They only have that many reviews because they have to purchase fake 5-star reviews to counter. And I don't know Google's algorithm, but I think for every 1-star review that they get, they have to purchase 8 to 10 5-star reviews to keep it from their score going down. So anyways, guys. But yeah, placing an order with Patriot Containers, it's not difficult. Sometimes your order is done before you're even off the phone and everything's done. With these other companies, nothing is done, and you have to wait 4 days for somebody to reach out to you to figure out with what day your container is going to get there. And if they're not delivering it fast, you have to pay them more money to do a rush delivery. Well, every container that I sell is a rush delivery. Every single one of them. Why would I want to not deliver for a month? So it's, I just don't understand these companies and how they run such a shit show operation. But when you call Patriot Containers, you're going to get the truth. You're going to get a good used or new container. And it's going to be delivered on the right day that you were told it was going to be there. The communication is going to be there. Just enough communication to where everything's taken care of and you don't need to do anything. I'll call you before you call me. So anyways, guys, Patriot Containers offers a real service that you can depend on. And we make customers. We don't make sales. When I say we, it's me and my wife. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye.